You open your eyes in the morning, but your brain hasn't turned on yet. You lie there for a few minutes. You try to form a clear thought, but it's as if there's a thick fog between you and the world. Your head feels heavy. Your thoughts feel slow. And it takes at least an hour, sometimes two, before you truly wake up. This isn't just morning laziness. For many people, this feeling is related to brain processes that are supposed to happen during sleep and that don't always work optimally. Today, we're going to understand what happens inside your brain while you sleep and why that morning fog is a sign that something needs to change. Your brain has a cleaning system. It works like the lymphatic system in the rest of the body, but it only becomes active when we sleep. It removes toxins, damaged proteins, and metabolic waste that build up during the day. Scientists call this the glymphatic system. When this system doesn't work efficiently, it can contribute to that foggy-headed feeling when you wake up. Slow thinking, difficulty concentrating. The good news? We can optimize this system, and the change is noticeable. Let me explain how. Here's what happens on most mornings. You wake up to the alarm, but your head feels like it's full of cotton. You walk into the kitchen to make coffee. You bump into the table. You forget whether you already added sugar or not. You have to reread the same message 3 times for it to register. And then around 10 a.m., you finally feel like you're functioning. But you've already lost 2 hours of your day. You're not alone in this. Studies show that up to 60% of people over 50 report morning brain fog, and most assume it's just part of aging or that they didn't sleep enough hours. But the truth is different. It's not about how long you slept. It's about the quality of that sleep, and specifically about what happened inside your brain overnight. Think about it. During the day, your brain is working non-stop, processing information, making decisions, creating memories. And like any machine in operation, it generates waste. Toxic proteins accumulate. Free radicals are produced. Metabolic byproducts settle between neurons. If this waste isn't removed, it interferes with neural communication. It's literally garbage building up in the system. And that's where the glymphatic system comes in. In 2012, researchers at the University of Rochester made a discovery that completely changed how we understand sleep. They discovered that the brain has its own cleaning system, but this system only truly works when you're asleep. Here's what happens. During deep sleep, brain cells called glial cells literally shrink. Experimental studies show a significant reduction in cellular volume during deep sleep, creating more space for cerebrospinal fluid to circulate. Then, cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid that circulates around the brain, begins to flow through these spaces, like a cleaning wave. It comes in, washes away toxins, and drains everything out through specific channels. Proteins like beta amyloid and 2 are removed more efficiently during deep sleep. Free radicals? Eliminated. It's literally a brainwashing system, and it happens primarily during slow-wave sleep, that deep, restorative sleep you get in the first hours of the night. But here's the problem. This glymphatic system becomes less efficient with age. Research suggests that with aging, cerebrospinal fluid flow tends to decrease, making the cleaning process less efficient. Glial cells don't shrink as much as they should. The space for cleaning gets smaller. The result? Toxins start to accumulate. And you feel this as morning brain fog. Now you might be thinking, but I sleep 7 or 8 hours. Why do I still wake up foggy? Because it's not about duration, it's about sleep structure. You need enough deep sleep, and many things can block it. Alcohol before bed fragments deep sleep. Even if you sleep through the night, the cleaning doesn't happen properly. Sleep apnea, even mild, disrupts glymphatic flow. You wake up, not always consciously, but the cleaning system was interrupted. Sleeping on your back can worsen glymphatic drainage. Experimental studies suggest that side sleeping may favor glymphatic drainage compared to sleeping on your back. Elevated body temperature interferes with deep sleep. If you're too warm, your brain doesn't enter the slow wave stages it needs. And here's something most people don't know. Chronic dehydration affects cerebrospinal fluid production. Less fluid means less cleaning. If you ignore this for months or years, your brain begins operating in a state of mild chronic toxicity. Morning fog stops being occasional and becomes the norm. You normalize feeling slow in the first hours of the day. But here's what many people don't realize. Chronic buildup of beta amyloid and tau, the very proteins not being cleared, is linked to increased risk of cognitive decline. That doesn't mean you'll develop dementia, but it does mean you're creating a brain environment that doesn't support long-term mental clarity. So the question is, how do you optimize this cleaning system? The answer has 4 pillars, and each one matters more than you think. The missing piece is understanding that your brain doesn't clean itself just when you sleep. It cleans itself when you reach specific stages of deep sleep, and those stages depend on circadian synchronization. Let me explain. Your body has an internal clock. It regulates when you produce melatonin, when your core body temperature drops, when cortisol rises, and the glymphatic system is synchronized with that clock. If you sleep at irregular times, skip nights of sleep, or stay exposed to blue light late into the evening, you desynchronize this system. Your brain doesn't receive the correct signals to enter cleaning mode. It's like trying to wash clothes without turning the machine on. You may be sleeping, but the cleaning process isn't active. And that explains why some people sleep 9 hours and wake up exhausted, while others sleep 7 hours and wake up refreshed. It's not quantity. It's quality and synchronization. Recent studies using advanced neuroimaging techniques show that patterns of deep sleep, hydration, and circadian stability are associated with differences in the efficiency of cerebrospinal fluid circulation. When analyzing sleep architecture and cerebrospinal fluid dynamics, researchers observed that greater mental clarity upon waking was associated with 3 recurring factors: more consistent deep sleep, better hydration, and a more stable circadian rhythm. On the other hand, fragmented sleep patterns, inadequate hydration, and excessive exposure to artificial light at night were associated with a greater sensation of morning brain fog. These differences did not appear to be explained solely by genetic factors, but were strongly associated with modifiable behaviors. In observational studies and sleep-related behavioral interventions, adjustments in these factors were associated with progressive improvements in mental clarity upon waking over the course of weeks. These findings are consistent with what we already know about the biology of deep sleep and the mechanisms that support brain restoration overnight. So what do? First, protect your deep sleep. Avoid alcohol at least 3 hours before bedtime. Alcohol may help you fall asleep faster, but it fragments deep sleep. Your brain doesn't enter the slow wave stages required for cleaning. If you suspect sleep apnea, loud snoring, waking up tired despite enough hours of sleep, pauses in breathing, talk to your doctor about getting a sleep study. Sleep apnea blocks the glymphatic system, and treatment can make an immediate difference. Second, optimize your sleeping position. Research suggests that side sleeping improves glymphatic drainage compared to sleeping on your back. Try alternating between your left and right side if one position becomes uncomfortable. Third, take care of your circadian rhythm. Go to bed and wake up at consistent times, even on weekends. Your brain needs predictability to synchronize the cleaning system. Reduce blue light exposure at least 2 hours before bedtime. That means less phone, computer, and TV screen time. Expose yourself to natural light in the morning. Open the curtains. Go outside for 10 to 15 minutes. This helps reset your circadian clock. Fourth, stay properly hydrated. Drink water throughout the day. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Studies show that even mild dehydration can affect cerebrospinal fluid production. A good reference is to observe urine color. Dark yellow means you need more water. Light yellow indicates adequate hydration. Fifth, keep your bedroom cool. If it's too warm, your body can't lower core temperature enough to enter slow-wave sleep. Wear light clothing. Consider breathable sheets. If needed, use a fan or air conditioning. But remember, individual variability matters. Some people need a slightly warmer or cooler environment. Experiment and notice how you feel when you wake up. The best approach is the one that works for your body. Talk to a healthcare professional if you're unsure which strategy is best for you. Look, waking up with brain fog isn't normal. And it's definitely not inevitable. It's your brain telling you that nighttime cleaning isn't working the way it should. But now you have important information. You know there's a glymphatic system, that it only works during deep sleep, and that you can optimize it. You don't have to accept starting your day slow, confused with sluggish thinking. You don't have to wait 2 hours to fully wake up. Your brain is capable of efficient cleaning, of full restoration, of waking up clear and alert. But it needs the right conditions: consistent deep sleep, proper hydration, a stable circadian rhythm, the right temperature. When you give your body these conditions, it does what it was designed to do. It cleans, it restores, it prepares for a new day, and you wake up differently, with clarity, with energy, with faster thinking. This isn't a miracle promise. It's the body responding better when the right conditions are in place. If you often wake up with brain fog, tell me in the comments, which of these strategies will you try first? Sleeping on your side, reducing blue light at night, keeping the bedroom cooler. And if you know someone who always says, "I'm not a morning person," share this video. Maybe it's not about being a morning person. Maybe it's about optimizing brain cleaning.